everybody, my name is Sharon Quinn. I am also known as the original Runway Diva, and you are watching Model Behavior. Today, I have three fabulous models for guests. I have Miss Etta Francois, Jeannie Ferguson, and Monique Robinson. These are all divas in their own right. And today's topic is the short of it all. We're going to be talking about short hair and short hairstyles and its effects in modeling. Class is officially in session. Hi, ladies. Welcome to Model Behavior.
Hello.
You know, I brought you all here because we're all like-minded, except for you, Monique. But you know, we're getting you there. We're getting you there. This is a big difference from where you were last year. Let's talk about short hairstyles in fashion. When did you decide to go short, Etta?
It's been about 20 years when it wasn't in vogue to have short hair. When everyone was telling me to buy a wig to cover my head.
And what made you decide to cut it off?
You know, it was a succession of jobs. It seemed like every job that I would go on, they would say, "Can we cut your hair?" And I was like, "Sure."
Really?
Yes.
They asked you to cut your hair?
Would you like me to cut your hair? Sure. So I went from shoulder length and it went higher and higher. And I never cared for hair. I never thought it was what made me, it never made me feel more feminine. It was on top of my head.
I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna come back to you on that. Jeannie, when did you cut your hair?
16 years. This year made 16 years that I cut off all my hair. I had hair for no reason. It never did anything. It just looked weathered all the time. The perms, all the fancy stuff. That stuff didn't work. I spent money to get my hair done because I was always fabulous. But that didn't work out for me. Right. In 5 minutes, it looked like the weather. I don't care who did it. It beat out Sassoon himself. It still looked like the weather hit it. So I said, listen, and besides, if this is what it is, it didn't. You was always taught that your hair was your crown and glory. I don't believe that.
Oh, yeah, see, we're going to talk about that, too.
I never believe that.
Yeah, see, I cut mine Christmas Eve, 2002.
Oh,
and
wow.
I just, same thing, I had hair, but I never liked my hair. After the Jerry curl, my hair never looked good after. My hair was fly during the Jerry curl. You know, mine was not juicy and drippy. It was moist, but not dripping. And I had a lot of hair after previously losing it to a bad perm. The Jerry curl brought all my hair back. And then after that, my hair was just, it was time for me to get rid of it. Monique, now I know you're new to this. You're not quite where we are. But you did something really, really surprising. You went from having a lot of beautiful hair to just making that decision to go short. And what made you do that?
It was more so force than a decision I made on my own. I had been going back and forth with cutting my hair because it was so damaged, and I was able to hide it because I would kind of wear it back and I would put a headscarf on so you couldn't see how damaged it was. And when I would model, I had like clip-ins, and they were like amazing clip-ins, so you just couldn't see it. But it got to the point where when I took these out, I still had to deal with my hair, and it's like, you know, with the stress of like the relaxers and the coloring, and I had to make a transition when I first started modeling because I had an agent that wanted my hair to be a certain way. So just with the coloring and trying to like get it the color that she wanted, it just never kind of bounced back from that. So it got to a point where my hair probably, I would say like to the top of my ears, I had no hair back here, and it started falling out like around the edges, and like, okay, we had to do something about it. I went back and forth with my current agent now, just like, I can't keep doing this. Like, I'm just gonna cut it. I'm just gonna cut it. So she started like, I'm like, well, you know, I think it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. And I cut it, and it's just been the best decision I've made.
Let me tell you why I like short hair. One, because it forces people to look at your face. You're not distracted, and you can't hide behind it anymore. And for you, I've always thought you looked like a little chocolate doll. And now you really get to see how beautiful your face is. I don't think you need a wig. I like it just the way you have it now. Of course, I think that you can go even shorter and, you know, follow the path. But this is a good start. You look beautiful. Don't rub it in about your hair growing.
No, I'm not. But it's just from when I first cut it, it's grown a lot. And I was actually very nervous about cutting. Like, I had a friend of mine make me a wig. And when I first cut my hair, I hid it for about a month. Like, nobody really knew it was cut unless you kind of knew me personally, or you know, you saw me at work, kind of hid it. I had a wig, so nobody knew. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this photo shoot, and it's just gonna be like the big reveal, and that's kind of like what it was.
I'm glad you said
you
wigs.
cut your hair.
Let's talk about wigs for a minute, because mine was a hat. When I first shaved all mine, I wore a hat to work every day for a month. Yeah, I wore a hat. So I don't, now that I've cut my hair, in addition to the hot flashes that I'm having now, I don't really like wigs like that anymore.
I just had one.
You know, for me, a wig was never an option. I would go into jobs and they would say, would you like us to put a wig on you? Let's put a wig on her. And I would say, why would you want to hide all of this? Like, what's the problem?
Go ahead,
Okay.
Diva. All right.
And it's not me being over myself. It's just, it is what it is. It took so long for us as black women to just appreciate our beauty that why do we have to hide it under a wig? Hats, forget it. It would come off in 2 minutes. And from the moment that I felt that first cut, because I remember the feeling, and it was called on my head, I fell in love with my head and I fell in love with my face, and that was all she wrote. And I have not worn a wig ever since.
And I've seen earlier photos of you with wigs. I don't like it. And it looks
it's a
strange to me
different
because this is you.
I look like a different person.
Yeah, I don't like wigs on.
I don't understand it. I don't know how. I would probably be like this the whole day. It doesn't make sense to me. I think it takes a lot. It's more than the vanity piece. It's being comfortable with myself. And again, knowing that I'm just as feminine, if not more, without. I'm probably more feminine with my hair bald than I would be with a big old wig on my head.
People put on wigs to make other people comfortable.
Exactly.
That's what I had to learn.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? I'm cool with this. You find a way to be cool with it too, because
Exactly.
this is working for me.
And if they're not cool, then it's okay.
Hey,
You're gonna be all right.
you wore wigs too, Jeannie? Don't make that face.
Because I just did a job, and they asked me to wear a wig. Now, I'm not opposed to, if this is what you're going to do when you sign a check, then listen, whatever it is. However, you knew that I had this haircut from the very beginning. You went back on my Facebook page and you said, oh, look, for Halloween, I put on a wig. I was the 80s child. And she said, look, you should do this. And I said, okay, I have no problem with it. I get in the makeup artist chair, and she said, well, what? I said, well, the hairstylist. She said, well, that's, you know, I don't want to mess up your hair. I said, it's a lace front, it's okay. Long story short, the same dumb things that you get, and you would think as 2014 people would understand it. She said, well, are you going through chemo? Hold on. So I said, you are the very reason why I have this wig on, because the show is filmed in all these countries that don't understand that I don't give two you-know-whats about hair. It's not going to define me. And to have somebody say, oh my God, she was like, why can't they have you with this, with no hair? I love this. I said, right, because you know people won't understand. But still today they don't understand.
It's their level of comfort.
But why do I have to make you comfortable? Because I'm good. I'm okay with it. No, I'm not going through chemo. I didn't lose my hair. I just cut it all off. I still have the bag. Do you want it? You can do whatever you want with it. It's really good. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it.
I get that's the number one thing I get from people is, are you a survivor?
Oh my goodness.
Or was that by? I never gotten that, but what I've gotten is, was that by choice? And I'm like, well, no, girl, was that by choice? And it's really difficult for you not to get defensive, because in this day and age, why can't I can look at someone with 20 inches or better and say, look, you're beautiful. That's what you choose. Why would you assume that me taking it all off has to be something wrong, or I'm a survivor, or what is it? It's just what I chose to do, and it's just as beautiful.
And it's conditioning, because we, particularly as black women, we hold our beauty is subjected to what kind of hair you have, the length it is, whether you have good hair or nappy, kinky hair. When actually, we are all facets of beauty.
Yes.
And I just, as you said about defining, I don't need my hair. And once I looked in the mirror at my head with no hair, I was like, well, I'm kind of cute.
I like that.
And you know what?
it also
It starts from very young girls, because at the end of the day, what is good hair? To me, good hair is the one that stays on your head. Whether it's curly, whether it's straight, whatever it is, it stays on your head. It's good hair. We're conditioning young girls to think that good hair is only the one that looks like their counterparts, which is what the problem is. Because when they don't grow that straight, whatever the case is, what they consider good hair, now they're doing all the nonsense to their hair to look, I don't know, to fit in.
Yeah, we're not buying the nappy wigs. Let me just tell you that. We're
Can I tell
buying
you
the straight
no.
wigs.
Now, I would have loved to have, done my job with the afro on, and I would have put a pick in it.
I mean, but I also get a different experience from cutting my hair, because I guess my haircut was considered a chop that I was kind of like chopping out the relaxer, which it was, but I had a conversation with someone who like, oh, you're getting in touch with your African side, and you know how I love myself now that my hair is natural, and you know I'm embracing that, and how I hated myself because I had a relaxer, and I'm like,
you know
no,
what, I
that's
can't
not
stand
how
when
it
people
is.
find a way to define your experience to make themselves feel comfortable. No, I knew I was a black, beautiful woman before I cut my hair off. I was in touch with my Afrocentric roots before that. I just decided to shave it off.
Right.
What's the problem?
Now, how does that, as far as your careers go,
It was rough for a minute.
talk about that?
It was rough for a minute. In the beginning, the people that I had been working with a lot of times would say, well, Etta, we can't put the ponytail, we can't do, they didn't know what to do with me. I got, you're too Afrocentric, your features are too strong. I got all of those things until eventually when they realized that I wasn't bending to them, then they decided, you know what, let me look beyond and see that, wow, she is kind of fly. I was like, I've been trying to tell you all this all along.
Well, I've seen the kids go up when you hit the runway, so I know.
They don't
Yes,
understand.
yes,
It's like I'm okay, and it comes through me. And again, it's about I'm okay to speak about myself in this way because I love myself that much. But at the end of the day, the industry can be rough. And I've gotten in and said, oh, she has no hair, she can't. Sorry. She's too bald-headed, and you know her cheeks are to this and her nose is to this. We can't. If she had some hair, maybe we can show her some of that. And as a model, you had to really sit there and take
you
that.
have to eat that. And
it's like, and walk around.
like, you know, I can hear you right,
like I'm right here.
I'm right here.
I'm right here, and I've gotten that. I think I've been in the industry a little bit longer than you ladies, so I've gotten that in a point when I cut my hair when no one was doing it, and I would have to walk into a casting and them tell me, yeah, no, too Afrocentric girl. I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean? But if you put a wig on me, oh, she's fat, she's over.
Yeah, I had a client once. I made the mistake of naming them last time. I'm not gonna do that again. But I cut my hair. It was a little bit shorter than yours. Now my reasons for cutting it was different. I have female pattern baldness on the top, and rather than keep wearing wigs, I was like, okay, let's just cut it all off. I can't deal with this anymore. And I cut it short first, colored it blonde, and got one of the biggest ad campaigns of my life just by making a change. Now, the first time I did it, it was blonde. There was posters everywhere. It was a beautiful thing. They loved it. Next time they booked me, and they booked me a lot. Next time they booked me, well, we want you to spray paint your hair. So I started spray painting my hair black. That was the most horrific experience of my life.
Wow.
But I'm greedy, and I'm one of those coins. So I did it
So
a
you got
couple
the
more
spray.
times, but it was, you talk about a self-esteem killer. I was like, well, you know, you liked the ad the first time, it was fabulous, you got a lot of feedback, and now someone else comes in and will you cover up your bald spot? I had to spray my whole hair with that. And it just, that's when my views on fashion, I started gradually taking myself out of
Right.
it. Have you found that having the short hair has affected your career in a good or bad way?
When I started modeling, so you were the only one besides Etta, so it was the two of you. So now it's me. But remember, I'm 5'3", so now that's
Right,
a
you're
bigger
plus petite.
Oh, honey. Now, you know, I'm creating categories that don't even exist. So now I had to work triple the amount of anyone else when you had hair. So if there was, you know, I was on set, you had to give everything you absolutely positively could possibly give. So it was really hard for me. So you're short, you have no hair, and your skin is darker than others. So it becomes like, it was very, very difficult, but I just kept going. I got the kicks with Miss Sharon Quinn, and I just kept going.
See, I remember when your turning point came, and that was on Rip the Runway.
Yeah.
And you remember, I remember telling you, because I had been reading the blogs and reviews the next day, and I was just like when I did Fat Chance.
Yes.
People can hide behind their computers and say the nastiest things. And I remember telling you, don't read the comments.
Right.
Don't read the comments because that'll be a mood killer for you because people will be nasty just because they can.
Yeah.
And I got one person that wrote to me and says, who does this bald-headed he think she is? And it's just like, what is the problem?
Right.
What is the problem? 10s across the board, bitches, eat it, okay?
Ow.
So you know, I don't understand. As far as we've come, it's still, you know.
Yes.
It's their own personal. It's not. I've come to understand that it's not about what they really feel about you. It's their own whatever they can't deal with themselves. So as you said, they sit behind the computer and say, you know what? In their mind, it's like, this is fabulous. But you know what? Who she thinks she is? I can't get up and do what she's doing and the confidence that she's doing it in. So the best thing for me to do is just break her down.
That's
Because
the
that makes
story
me
of my
feel
life, yeah.
better about myself.
That's the
But you know,
story of
when
my
they get women like ourselves, and I think I've known you, I don't know how long you've known Sharon, but we've known each other quite many years, and women have tried to come for us in many, many ways, for many different reasons.
yes.
Whether it's our hair, because she's a plus size, whatever the reason is. And at the end of the day, what matters is that we know ourselves, we love ourselves, and when we hit the runway, it is what it is. You're gonna have to eat it and deal
To
with
get
it.
down.
Yes.
And I know that all the, I've seen, you have to see this one. on
I've
the
seen her.
runway. Oh,
I've
yeah,
seen her.
yeah. You
I
have-
know she's burning it out.
I'm sorry, caller, what did you say? Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
you don't want to follow me.
That
That's
was
how
the
it is.
5'3" one that
Yes.
just broke it down for you. Exactly.
Now, Monique, tell me, have you, well, you've gotten lots of work from cutting your hair, haven't you?
I have more clients interested since I cut my hair. I went on a casting recently, about 2 weeks ago, and I walked in, and when I walked in, the casting director, oh my God, you're so beautiful. I love your hair. I love it. And even some of the clients that I work with, they like my hair, and they've said they liked my hair, and it's like, well, I want to shoot it, but I'm not sure yet. Maybe when it gets a little longer. So they still kind of shoot me in the wig. But the response from cutting my hair has been huge. But
there's no
still
denying
not-
that face.
They can't-
Yeah,
there's
there's no
not.
denying that face.
They're still not biting though. It's like they want to bite, but just they're not
This
sure
will catch
yet.
on eventually.
And they
Yeah,
don't know what to
it'll
do.
take a moment, but now, do you think you'll go back to putting perm?
Absolutely
secondly?
not.
So you,
Good for
The
you.
best decision I've made in my life.
Good for you.
why do you say that? Why?
Is well, one, I still have wash and go hair right now. So,
Best thing in the world.
so that's from one, and you know I get my haircuts for free, so that helps too. It's just I don't have to worry about it as much. Like I use this oil mixture, jojoba, olive, black castor oil that I kind of use on it, and it was just it's just easier than the relaxed hair, because with the relaxed hair you have to get it relaxed and you have to straighten, and there's so much stress that goes with the relaxer. Whereas this, I kind of wash, moisturize it, put whatever I want to put on it to define curls one day or not, and I just kind of I go, and it's just awesome.
Okay. Jeannie, you just got the cover of Pose magazine. That cover is
Yes,
so
thank you.
fly.
Thank you.
So
Thank
fly.
you. Thank you.
Do you think that I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? I keep having these senior moments, forgive me. That you've come full circle getting that cover. Is this your first cover?
No, it's not my first cover, but I will say it's one of my best covers. It's not my first, but it's one of the absolute best
And why do you
covers
feel that?
ever. I got to learn. I've watched my progression from cover to cover. I think I've done about 4 covers, which is everything for me at 5'3", because I don't exist in the model world.
That's not true.
Well, no, when I say I don't exist in the model world, I will say there's not many like me. I'll say that.
So let's say you just created
There you
a
go.
new.
I just created, right. So this cover here, the fact that I got to have no hair and be 5'3", and then you get to know all about me. It's a full spread. It's everything. It's absolutely everything. But I watched myself grow from cover to cover, what I shouldn't do, how I should do, the styling, the whole everything. So this
Now, did you
cover
have a
is-
hand in the styling, or?
You know, the funny thing about this whole styling was everything that you guys would never ever see me. You know, Jeannie, you would never see me in nothing like that. The fur, the just no shirt. No, you would never see.
You ain't
me
had no
do it.
shirt on?
No.
Oh, I got to go back.
You're gonna go look again.
How did I miss that?
I am just like topless. There's no nothing. I have a necklace on, fur, no earrings. Like, it's everything. So I got to focus on me. I got to see me. So I can look at the cover and I can say, that's Jeannie. Like, I can see Jeannie. my eyes is telling the story. I can totally say that.
Okay.
So when you open and you do read the different, everything is so not me. There's gowns, there's like.
See, I just saw the cover. I didn't see the full
There's
spread.
gowns. I have one, a fedora. You know I always like hats. So, I mean, it's just awesome. It's great.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
Now,
you,
tell
thank
everybody
you,
what
thank you.
issue of Pose that is.
It is the December issue of Pose magazine.
And
It's
Pose is an online magazine,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a Facebook page, so go and check that out.
Yes. You won't be disappointed, I promise. You won't be
Now, Etta,
disappointed.
now I know that you've done lots and lots of magazines, and have you done covers? I know you've done a lot of stuff, but I'm
I
not.
have a couple of covers. I did Black Elegance for a couple of covers for them. Worked a lot with Essence, and I had some spreads with them, and a lot of the magazines geared to the Black community. In Style magazine, I've been on. So quite a few, spreads. After a while, they realized that I can actually, even though I'm a little bit shorter than most runway models,
Oh, totally.
I'm 5'8".
Okay.
It's the heels that always gets them. And
So Mama will put the 5'6" heel
6
on.
inches, girl. And so after doing all of those magazines, and they saw me on the runway, realizing that I can actually carry a runway.
You can tell.
Talk about it.
That's putting it lightly, girl.
Exactly.
Baby, we have shut shows down. Okay, the tag team.
I have paid attention many years, trust me.
So, I ended up doing a lot more runway. But for all the magazines that I've done, none of them have been with my hair like this. The shortest one has been a pixie cut. Everything has been either a wig or something else.
Now now I know personally that you've sort of transitioned. Now you do runway shows and things
Every
like
once in a
that.
while.
But that's not really where your heart lies now. You're doing. Tell me what it is. What's the next move for you? What is it that you're working on next?
Well, I recently got married. As you know. Thank you. And by profession, my day job is I'm a retail manager. However, my wife and I are launching an online store called Blue Mountain.
Oh,
Yes.
that's first I'm hearing
Oh,
this
well, there
one.
you go.
Okay.
Hold the presses. And it's all around men's and women's accessories,
Okay.
like fabulous accessories. And what we're doing is making sure that you can come as a woman who dresses this feminine or someone who's more aggressive, and you can go to a site and find fabulous accessories and not have to worry about, well, do I go to the men's section or the women's section? It's all about, if you find that fabulous beaded bow tie and you want to wear it, then okay. If Joe wants to find it, then okay. So right now we're launching it. We're in the beginning stages.
Awesome.
Yes. So, we had to take the leap of faith and say, you know what? I keep saying I'm a retired model. It's in my blood still.
You're not retired.
You're not retired. Let me just say that you're not. You have cut back
Exactly.
on some of the work, but you're not
It's in my
retired.
blood, but now it's to move to the next level.
I am retired. Oh no! Don't shake your head. No. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm about to kick these shoes off right now. I am retired. I work on the back end now. I don't do the runway stuff no more. But what about you? What's in the future for Jeannie Ferguson?
I teach runway classes every year. I teach at least 2 runway classes. It's more so to the young ladies who are aspiring, and they want to know how I did it. And my story is me being so short and being successful, and I thank God I've been successful for many years, being petite plus. So I teach a runway class at least twice a year. That'll come up again in January and in February. There's a few things in the works I can't talk about just yet. But
Oh man, come
I
on.
know, but it has to do with television. So it's really, I'm hoping and praying, but it's really, really nice. I get to be me.
Speak it to the universe.
You
it'll
know
come
what?
right back.
I'm going to
Claim
do
that.
television. It's going to be mine. And I'm those things there. I'm still working
Now
on
you also do the
BGU.
fashion
Yes.
stuff, and you are co-designing.
Well, yes. Well, here's the thing. So everybody knows that Tasha and I sisters.
Tasha's
and
your sister.
We do, yes, Tasha's my sister, and she's my older sister actually. And you better not say nothing.
Okay.
I am going to. I say that I am not a co-designer. All the dresses that you see are me. So anything that's form-fitting is all Jeannie. Anything that
Really?
Yes. Anything that is form-fitting, the 2-piece that I wear, the pencil skirts, the crop top, all Jeannie.
This is you two that you're wearing?
Well, no, this is not me, because what I was going to wear, you've seen it already. So, I'm being honest. Yeah, I'm being honest. But yes, I am still designing, and we are doing something really big in February. So we hope that Sharon comes out of retirement.
What?
You heard me.
Oh no, I know you ain't talking about putting on shoes. Right?
You can put on your sandals. It'll be long enough.
Okay.
You can put on your flats.
I can't. I'm about to think of playing. I can't even mess with shoes no more. Y'all don't even know. So, Monique, what you got going on?
I'm still trying to knock on these doors and force these people to let me in. I'm still working as a model. Right now, I'm just trying to build my client base. There's these waves that happen in the modeling industry, and what I see happens is it's that one girl that's all over the place. And
that one black girl. Let's just say that.
It's that one black girl.
Because it can never be two or three of us at one time.
Right. And that's I'm just trying to like open that door. Like, no, it can actually be 2 or 3. Come on,
So tell me, you've caught. I remember when you came up because I met you in Florida doing that show, and I talked to you, and you came up for the casting for Full Figure Fashion Week, and you hadn't even finished your audition, and phone was just ringing. Who is this dark-skinned chocolate girl that everybody is talking about? So and that doesn't happen often in our business, particularly not in Plus. So that's my cue that we're almost out of time.
That's my cue to say that's how it all started for me.
Well, we're all out of time, and I hope you guys come back because I enjoyed this discussion, and I want to talk more about the hair thing and what you guys are working on. You're definitely going to come back and talk about your business. Thank you for watching. You hear me? Thank you for watching. And thank you to my guest lecturers, Etta Francois, Jeannie Ferguson, and Monique Robinson. Now, before I go, I want to leave you with a few final thoughts. Remember that you can't change the game until you first learn the game. And remember to surround yourself always with positive people and positive things. And lastly, do what you love and love what you do. My name is Sharon Quinn. I am the original Runway Diva, and you have been watching Model Behavior. Ladies and gentlemen, class is dismissed. Thanks for watching. Bye.